if your sales team is in charge of managing both existing accounts, but also in charge of prospecting and closing net new accounts for you, then this video is for you. AI has completely changed the game, and it changed the way your organization should be structured. So if you're a specialty manufacturer, a vendor of retail brands, vendors of CPG brands, vendors of food service brands, maybe even a reoccurring business model, your sales team might be set up this way. I'm going to walk you through the subtle nuance of why you should switch it and what you should switch it to. AI has changed the game and how things should be structured. And unfortunately, if you're using the old strategy with the old structure, you're paying way more money on every single account than you need to be. And I understand employment. We want to employ people, but at the same time, we want to increase our net margin. We want to make sure we're making more money for ourselves, right? And so that's what we're here to do. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Ogren. I'm the founder of Money Make Marketing. So far this year, we've generated net new business for our clients, $7.4 million. That's January 1st to August 1st. And all of our clients, they're vendors of retail brands, CPG brands, food service brands, they're specialty manufacturers, you name it. And all of our businesses, all of our clients, they have the same business model where it's a revenue, not recurring revenue, it's reoccurring. So they have reorders from the same accounts. And so what's required of that is to have reps managing those accounts to get those reorders, right? And so I'm just gonna walk you through the business model first, how it's typically set up with the sales team and what responsibilities are. And then I'm going to walk you through with what AI is enabling the top 1% of your industry to do and how you can capitalize on this immediately. So the traditional way, let's do traditional. And so this is just the sales team, okay? If you're a specialty manufacturer and you have a lot of fulfillment, your operations are different, I don't care. This is just for your sales process, all right? Typically you have your sales manager role. And sometimes if you're a smaller team, you're playing these hats, okay? And so you usually will have, under this person, you have a bunch of account reps. And so these account reps are all in charge of not only going out to prospect for net new accounts, they're also being handed all the inbound leads that come from the company. So the company actually sends them leads, but also at the same time, they have their own book of business that they are trying to continuously manage. And so the book of business, that's great and all, but it's very challenging to actually get these sales reps to focus more on net new accounts, okay? And this is the subtle nuance and the problem with this strategy. So if we look at, let me just zoom in on this person. Let's go. That's like me zooming in. If we look at this person's real day-to-day, it starts with managing existing accounts, follow-ups, calls, net new, prospecting, okay? Why does net new business always get pushed to the end of this particular setup? Here's the subtle thing. It's the way their commission is most likely structured. And the issue is the commission on them closing net new accounts versus them closing an existing account is the same, because the sales team doesn't care, the ownership doesn't care, because they're getting a reorder, whatever. Now, here's the issue, and here's why you should care. What's easier for a rep to get an order from? Is it a net new account or is it an existing account? It's always going to be the existing account. And if this is that rep's livelihood, which it is, what are they going to lean to? They're going to lean to the things that feed them the most. Those are those existing accounts. And so, yes, that's great because your business is maturing those existing accounts. You have that covered. Phenomenal. But what this is actually doing underneath, like what this problem is actually happening, is if you are trying to grow your revenue, you're trying to increase your net profit, the real thing that's going to do this is adding more net new accounts. Think about it. If you have, let's just say it's account 1, and then you have account 2, and you have account 3, and all of these are spending this amount, your revenue is just that amount times 3. But what if you had, and then the next year, they all spend this amount? Your revenue now is that times 3, right? So essentially what's happening is all these accounts mature. Now, what if you just had more accounts constantly maturing at the same time? What happens now is your business is exponentially growing. If you feed the top of the funnel on the existing infrastructure that you currently have, you will be maturing more existing accounts at the same time. Makes sense, right? Makes sense in principle. As long as you can fulfill those accounts, right? And as long as you have room. So this is the issue. The commission's usually the same, and there's not enough time in the day for them to use this thing. So then they start to use like AI tools, automation, and more. And what happens when they use these AI tools and automation, their productivity on these net new accounts drops. Why? Because they all sound and look the same. So now you have a rep on their net new prospecting, the thing that's truly going to blow up your business in a good way, thing that's truly going to make you, the owner, more money. They are outsourcing that to AI and they sound the same, and they're just busy managing their existing accounts because that's what feeds them. So you don't really have anybody working on bringing in net new accounts besides like young reps. If you bring in like a new rep and they're green, a little wet behind the ears, they're green behind the ears, you're relying on just them to continuously grow your business. And then you can continually look at like adding more reps. But the issue with that is usually you have to give them a base, and you also have to give them 6 to 12 month runway. Yeah, they're focused on just your business, but at the same time, what if they fail? What if they're not efficient? And most likely they're not. If you're going to be paying them a base salary that's not anything crazy, that's maybe competitive, they're not going to be an A player. You're going to have to train your own reps, which takes time and resources again. And so this is the flaw with the model. Now, how to fix it, okay? Look at it like the actual functions of what's happening. You have your net new accounts, and what has to happen here? What has to happen to land a net new account? We need to prospect, nurture, book, okay? And then you got to get on the call and close the call, okay? For managing existing accounts, what do you need? You need calls to check in. You need follow-ups that have a lot of context. So let's do contextual. And then you also need a relationship. So of these jobs, what can we outsource to AI? We can't outsource calls. We cannot do this. We cannot outsource calls. We could outsource contextual follow-up as long as there's good inputs. So this is maybe we could outsource this, but at the same time, it might not be that much. And if we're talking about managing the relationship properly, if that prospect or that existing account thinks that you sent them an AI message, it hurts the relationship. So contextual follow-ups probably you don't want to use AI for. And then building a relationship, the existing accounts that you are closing, they don't want to do business with a robot. They want to do business with a person. So you can't outsource the managing of the existing accounts to AI. But for prospecting and net new outreach and nurturing and booking these calls for you on the net new side, you can. You can most definitely, for prospecting, finding the right companies, messaging and outreach, same thing. You can do that. Nurturing, same thing. Yes, as long as it's trained properly, yes. And then booking these calls, that's the only thing that you need a rep for, right? So all of the stuff that until up to getting them on a call, you can use and do at scale with AI as long as you have a good strategy to do it. And so this is the thing that I'm trying to say to you. The new organization, you need to have an AI engine that's going all the time for your net new outreach that is able to consistently go out there, find leads, figure out the right ones, and then get them onto calls with your team. And then you need to shift your existing sales team to just account reps. They're managing your existing accounts and also closing the deals. They're not doing any prospecting on net new outreach at all. They're just taking the calls that the AI system books. So this is what the new structure should look like. Okay, you have this person, you come down, you have your reps, and what's actually happening, so these reps are managing existing accounts. We'll just put them as squares down here, okay? Then what's actually happening here is you have a funnel coming in, which are net new accounts from so the net new accounts come in from your AI, and these reps are just taking calls for the net new accounts, but then they're just in charge of managing the existing relationships. That is it. That is it. If you do it right, you might even be able to downsize your sales team if you have a really good AI team that can do this at scale. For us, we cover the entire market for all of our clients. They literally just need us. That's it. And then they just have a rep. Sometimes we have the CEO jump on these calls because we're closing $1.2 million deals plus in some instances. So the CEO or the president will have to hop on regardless. But all you need for your outreach, you don't need a sales team that's going to be split up into territories and region to do your net new outreach. You need a real good marketer. Someone that knows how to use AI, someone that can do this at scale to touch your entire marketplace. Look, this is what's so valuable about this AI. AI automation, as long as you have one person that's a human, that's really good, they can have infinite touch points with accounts. These are all accounts across the board. And they could do it at the same time. One of the funny things that we do for one of our clients has been with us for over 12 months on a month-to-month agreement, meaning they only renew with us if we outperform that month and the ROI is there, right? And it's on a monthly retainer. So they pay us cash up front every month And they've been with us for over 12 months. And we probably have one of the heaviest retainers on the marketplace. We're probably one of the most expensive agencies that are out there that you probably ever talk to. Why? Because we generate results. And what we do for them, because we've been working with them for so long, when we send out our follow-ups, we're able to follow up with literally the entire marketplace that they operate in at the same time. We cover the entire marketplace at the same time. Imagine that. Imagine you are literally covered your entire marketplace and you're actually following up with every single prospect at the same time. Would you make more money? Yes. The only issue is as long as you don't annoy these prospects, you're going to be fine. And so it's the battle for you right now. Why aren't you nurturing your entire marketplace? 1, you probably don't have the contact info. That can be solved. 2, you probably don't know how to nurture everyone at once. 3, you don't have a strategy to turn people that don't really care into people that are about to write a check to you and ones that need a PO. Those are the things you really need. And this will change your entire structure. Remember, our goal here, if you're watching this, our goal is to increase your net profit. If you are the owner of the company and you're looking at this and you're not thinking, wow, I need a really good marketer that's great with outreach and AI that can handle all this at scale and just feed my team these net new meetings where they can just go ahead and close and do all the human part, you're missing out on the arbitrage of the infrastructure you already built. You can make your entire team more efficient. And why does it actually work? These reps that I just drew here, they no longer have to prospect for net new accounts. All they're doing is what they're good at anyways. They're just doing what they're managing their existing accounts, and then they get on the calls for the net new. That's it. That is it. And so this is the thing that is so important for you to understand. You've already spent the money and the infrastructure. All you would do is you would make your sales team a wealthier sales team. They're going to be making more money than ever, but you are going to be making more money than ever. And you're not going to have to hire anybody else. You're just becoming more efficient with your net new outreach. And if you look at how your reps are currently managing the existing accounts and how they're maturing, this happens exponentially. This looks like this. It literally looks like this. So if you have all these accounts, let's do time over here, account dollars closed. This is what it looks like, because down here we're closing all these accounts, and then suddenly all the accounts start maturing all at once, and you're gonna have some massive deals. That's probably when you're gonna exit your company. Anyways, now I'm kind of rambling, but I hope you understand this video. If your business is a reoccurring business model, meaning you have account reps that need to work the deal to work that account to continue to get reorders from them, and they're managing that relationship, this is the new structure. If you're still stuck on the old structure, you are going to lose the market share. And that is dangerous because your competitors are going to be switching to this. Why are your competitors going to be switching to this? Because I'm pitching them to. And if I'm not pitching them to, somebody else is. Because you need to be good and efficient at this. This is arbitrage. There's only so much time when you have the opportunity to arbitrage on the business model itself. Now is the time. And the best part about this, you don't even have to fire anybody. You do not need to fire anybody. So nobody's losing their job. Your sales reps are just losing the part of their job that they hate the most, and we're taking it over. That's it. Or whoever you hire is taking it over. So that's the best part. You just become more efficient. Everybody makes more money, and you take more of the marketplace. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions, comments, concerns, go to our website and in the description, apply to work with us, and we'll get back to you immediately. Or leave a comment below. Comment, subscribe. My name is Ryan Ogren from Money Make Marketing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. All right, later.